want to do no interviews because everybody's turning this into, I don't know if you guys have been reading Facebook, stuff like that, but there's some pretty negative stuff on that. And they're calling her the Boswell something. I can't remember what it was exactly, but it's pretty bad.
For those of you who didn't understand that Evelyn or the Boswell reference that Don made, he says people are saying about them on the internet, which is weird because I know AB follows a lot on Facebook, and I mean I'm in there a little bit watching, but what I know is that I haven't really heard that Boswell reference. I mean, maybe a few people said it. I have literally never heard anybody say it. And I've seen this case referred to a lot of cases. But for some reason, and maybe someone else has heard it, I'm not saying it didn't happen, but for some reason, this is the one he makes a reference of, saying that everybody is saying that. But everybody's not saying that, Don. I can tell you for sure, everybody isn't. So that's weird. Okay. And then why is that something you specifically bring up? Even if it was being said, why bring that up? Like I said, that this case has been compared to a few others, specifically the West boys that also vanished allegedly, right? So I don't know. I've seen that more than I've seen. So anyway, let's look into the story. Oh my God, and it's a sad story, but we have to know what this man is talking about. I think they started that rumor themselves.
Boswell would have turned 2 this month. Instead, her mother Megan, if convicted, may face the death penalty after she was indicted on 19 charges in connection with the toddler's death. Those charges include 2 counts of felony murder. 12 of the counts against her are for making false statements to investigators. Evelyn's remains were found on a family member's Tennessee property after an Amber Alert was issued when her grandparents reported her missing, claiming they hadn't seen her for months. Police say Megan Boswell didn't report the child missing. They also charged her with falsely claiming that Evelyn was with her father and that Megan lied to investigators about her attempts to find the child. Evelyn's father was not charged.
I notice here that there are 2 counts of first-degree murder. Has the state made a decision as far as seeking any enhanced punishment in this case?
Not at this time. I'll give no.
Megan Boswell has pleaded not guilty to all charges against her. She's due in court next month, at which time the state will determine if it will pursue capital punishment when trying her. This is Inside Edition Digital.
So that's just a peek, but you guys know. We have to put that in the playlist. Evelyn needs justice. What the hell? Okay, let me see this. This is why. That's not cool. And this is an older ad or video, 2020. So another year has almost gone by since this was written. Excuse me. Summer can't be another Evelyn Boswell. And you know what? Is Candus a Megan? What are you trying to say, Dawn? Because I really haven't heard that. Not to the degree that he was saying it. I've heard a lot of other stuff repetitively. Repeatedly, repetitively, whatever, pick one. I haven't heard that. So, of course, I had to find out who that was and what that was about. And wow. So they found her remains on a relative's property in Tennessee. That's interesting. Y'all know we have to dig deeper into Evelyn Boswell, right? Absolutely. So I didn't want to leave us all hanging. Let's find out at least what I could find really quickly as the latest update. Evelyn Boswell.
The new Jeep Grand Cherokee is the most awarded
Sorry, they slipped another ad in there on me. But yeah, I wanted to know, How did it end for Evelyn? Because Candace is, I'm sorry for, well, Evelyn too, but I meant to say Megan, the mom. Because if Candace is in her shoes, hmm,
This afternoon, the grand jury of Sullivan County returned a true bill of presentment charging Megan Boswell with a total of 19 counts. There were 2 counts of felony murder, one in perpetration of aggravated child abuse and one in perpetration of aggravated child neglect. 1 count of aggravated child abuse, 1 count of aggravated child neglect, 1 count of tampering with evidence, 1 count of 12 counts of false report, 1 count of abuse of corpse, 1 count of failure to report a death under suspicious or unusual or unnatural circumstances. The next hearing date is August the 28th in criminal court for Sullivan County, and the bond on this case currently is $1 million.
Baby Evelyn's body was found on March 6th. Since that time, my detectives, TBI agents, and the DA's office have worked tirelessly conducting interviews, combing through evidence, and establishing a timeline in order to determine the circumstances leading to baby Evelyn's death. As a result of false information given by the defendant, along with misinformation circulated in the community, there's been a lot of confusion in the case. I want to be clear when I say that after an extensive and thorough investigation, other individuals were eliminated as suspects, and Megan Boswell became the sole suspect in this case. My office has received dozens of calls and messages over the last several months from concerned residents wanting to make sure that we had not forgotten about baby Evelyn. I assure you we haven't and we won't. I want to express my sincere appreciation to those residents who have shown their support throughout this process. We've received foods, cards, prayers, many encouragement, and we appreciate that more than you know. I know many of you still have a lot of questions in this case. Please know that we can't speak to the evidence gathered during this investigation because this case now has to be prosecuted.
As we struggle to attempt to understand why or even how someone can harm an innocent child, we will never know because, thank God, most of us are not wired that way. But we can certainly try our best to make sure that those responsible for these incomprehensible acts are held accountable. Today's indictment is the first step in assuring that that happens. Our hearts and prayers go out to the family and friends who love baby Evelyn, along with the many citizens who, like us, developed deep-seated love for this sweet little girl. She didn't deserve this. No child does. And that's why we will continue to work to pursue justice in this case. It's the best and most important thing we can do to honor her memory. We now move to the critical role in our system of working with General Staubus's office to engage the courts and provide the proof that so many have worked tirelessly to collect. We are deeply grateful to this team of professionals for the determined and methodical investigation. In closing, we would like to encourage anyone who suspects that a child is being abused to immediately report it. Child abuse must stop, and we must do all we can in our power to make it stop. You can report it to your local law enforcement agency or call the Tennessee Child Abuse Hotline at 1-877-237-0004.
so that is who Candace is being referred to. Let Dawn tell it. Boswell case. So sad. How do you do? Ugh. The truth always comes to light. Always. Eventually.